Okay, time for another 357 Magnum video. And it's going to be another video for we're going to load up some rounds for our Henry Big Boy. The last video was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun shooting those rounds. But they were with Unique. You know, we used Unique and they were slow and they were weak. But that was our first time loading 357 Magnum for the Henry. So it was good to take it easy, you know, load them light, make sure that everything was going to function okay. Now that we know the bullet's good and the gun's good and everything's working okay together, now it's time to take off the training wheels, put on our big girl panties, and load up some proper 357 Magnum. And we are going to use Alliant 2400. It was a bit of a toss-up. I was either going to use 2400 or Winchester 296. We're going to get to both of them eventually, but I decided to go ahead and use Alliant 2400. We are going to continue to use the same cast bullet that we used the last time. This is the Lee 358 158 semi-wad cutter mold. It's the tumble lube design that I've powder coated. So last time we shot blue. This time I've got some green, I've got some blue. So we've got some variety there. As far as load data goes, I ended up using Quick Load. You know, it's a software that you can put in your bullet and crap. And they've got this bullet in Quick Load. So I ran the data through Quick Load and I came up with a max charge of 13.3 grains. That should get us about 1,775 feet per second. That's a little bit below what the books are calling for jacketed bullet data. So I think it's probably in the right ballpark. So that's what we're going to try to shoot. As far as primers go, we're going to continue to use the Winchester small pistol Magnum primers, the WSPMs. I don't think that Magnum primers are really required for 2400. I think it's a very easy powder to ignite, and I was looking at Alliance data. They use regular primers, and I've heard that regular primers are really preferred with this, but I don't have enough. Yeah, I don't know. There's no notes in in any of my other manuals that you should use regular primers, so I think they use Magnum primers, whatever. We're just going to go with the Magnums. We'll see if it blows us up. Blows our face off, then it blows our face off. I think we'll be fine. As far as brass goes, I've still got another box of brand new Starline brass, and I want to get through this other box of 100 and get them all shot. So that's what we're going to use, brand new Starline brass. The plan is, I think I'm going to load up 50 rounds. I want plenty of rounds to play around with. I want to have another, you know, fun day on the range with the gun, shoot some steel and have some fun. But I also want to test out these, you know, full house 357 Magnum loads and see what sort of velocity we're going to get and see if we blow our face off. So what I want to load is 12.3 grains, 12.8 grains, and then 13.3 grains. So 13.3 was the max that Quick Load said. So I'm only going to load up 5 of the 2 hotter loads. And then the 12.3 grain load, I'm going to load up 40 of them. So 40 of the lowest load at 12.3, which should be a nice little load. Probably around 1,600 feet per second, maybe a little under that, probably 1,550 maybe, something like that. So that's kind of what we'll do our plinking with, and then we'll take 5 shots of those, shoot them over the chronograph, shoot a group, and then we'll do the same thing with 12.8 and 13.3. We'll, you know, get velocities on those and shoot a group with them. Make sure they're going to group okay. So that is kind of the plan. So I just need to get some dies in the press, start resizing some brass, and get this party started. Okay, first step here, taking my brand new piece of brass, I'm hitting the inside with a quick chamfer. Just because this brand new brass, some of them have got a little bit of a wonkiness on the mouth, and I just don't want that possibly causing any problems with our powder coated bullets. So I'm just hitting it with a quick inside chamfer, resizing, and then flaring the case mouth. And I did set the flaring die, so our bullets are sitting down in there nicely. Should seat no problem. So that's pretty much it. Once we get through 50 of these, then we'll be ready for some primers. Okay, so just finishing up priming using my RCBS hand priming tool. About halfway through, every time I always think, man, I should have just set up my press to prime on the press, but I usually forget. But yeah, it might have been a little faster to prime on the press, but we didn't. What I'm going to do, the first 40 charges, I've got my powder measure set up to throw 12.3 grains. And the first 40 charges I'll just throw, and then the heavier charges, the 12.8 and 13.3, I will, I'll hand weigh those just because it will probably be faster to just hand weigh them than to reset my powder measure. So, all right, let's get these first 40 thrown. Okay, quick visual inspection. All that looks good. They've all got powder in them. And I'll tell you what, just for the heck of it, I'll go ahead and do one more test charge here. Yep, still looks good. Just a little bit light, 12.24. That is close enough to 12.3. Okay, time to get our bullet seating die set up. Okay, in the last video we landed on 1.585 and that worked out pretty well. So let's see if we can get this guy set back to there. Back this out just a little bit. I did have the dies out of the press, so kind of starting over here, but pretty close. 1.603. 1.595. 1.583. That's pretty close. Let's seed a couple of them and see how consistent we're getting as far as numbers go. Okay, 1.586, 1.584, 1.583, 1.579, 1.584, close enough. So that looks pretty good. Seated to about right there. Good. Okay, our Lee Factory crimp die. Let's back this out a little bit. I think we went 3/4 of a turn last time. There we go. Looking pretty good. So I made a little bit of a screw up. These bullets are seating so easily. Like they're just, you know, got just the right amount of flare, and they are just seating really nicely. And I got a little bit overconfident. You know, I've had some bullets that weren't sitting in there quite straight, and I was just relying on the seating die to straighten them out. And one of them didn't quite work out like I had hoped. And that's what you get. Dug up a bunch of that. But that's the only one. All the others have gone fine. So this one I need to pull that bullet and resize it and kind of start over. But I've already removed the sizing die from the press, and I'm too lazy to set them back up. So we'll just have 49 shots. There we go, 49 shots, ready to rock. There we go, let's get to the range. Okay, let's start out by getting some of the boring stuff out of the way first. I'm going to shoot some groups. Got 3 dots on the paper out there. Just want to shoot some groups, make sure that we don't have any pressure problems, and get some velocity data from our chronograph. So we're going to start off with the first charge of 12.3 grains and see what it gets us. So left-hand dot, let's shoot a little group. Okay, that was 1575. Brass looks okay. Shot went low and to the left. I don't even know if I got it on camera. There we go, now you can see it. All right, let's shoot the other 4. See if we can get a group going. All right, about 1550 average. That's not too bad. So let's bump it up here to 12.8 grains and see how it does. That group was great. Those four shots almost, you know, tried to go through the same hole, and then that one was outside of it. So let's see if we can put these 5 right together. The target's at about 20 yards. I don't think I mentioned that. So nice and close here, just trying to get an idea of how these guys are flying. The brass looks okay. Like the primers look fine, and everything seems okay, but there's something I want to show you guys once I'm done shooting. The brass really seems to be fire forming out to the chamber, and there's a little bit of a bulge down by the webbing. So yeah, I'll show you guys once we finish shooting these groups. Definitely a whole lot more recoil than those loads we shot in the last video, which is to be expected. Okay, our max load, 13.3 grains. I think we had a little chronograph error there. It says 2383. Hopefully that's lying to us. All right, let's try this next one. That's better, 1677. Okay, that one shot with the crazy velocity screwed up my numbers here, but yeah, it looks like about 1670 was our average, which is not bad. That is what, Quick Load was telling us 1774, so we're well short of what Quick Load predicted. Let me show you guys this brass. Okay, this is 3 pieces of the brass. I don't know if it's going to come across, but right here above the base of the case, maybe just a touch of a bulge. Yeah, I'm not sure. All right, so we've still got 40 rounds. No, we've got 35 rounds left. So let's set up some steel and just have a little bit of fun. Okay, so the rest of these are 12.3 grains, the lighter load. Got some steel set up out there. Got the swinging plates at about 20 yards, the closer plate at about 15, and then another plate back there at about 45 yards maybe, something like that. So let's start out and go for the swinging plates. Left to right. Dang it. All right, this last one's making me mad. There. All right, that's it for the first 10. All right, let's try a little alternating. I'll go for a swinging plate, and then I'll go for the far plate, and just keep going back and forth. Okay, I'm just gonna miss. Let's try that again. Swinging plate. Far plate. And I killed it. All right, let's do the close plate. Swinging plate. Man, that 10 went quick. Oh man, whew. Barrel gets a hell of a lot hotter with these loads than it did with those little unique loads. Just looking at the barrel, I don't see any leading. Seems to be okay. All right, 7 in the magazine. Let's go for the old propane tank. Small plate. All right, this is the last 8 rounds. So let's hit some swinging plates. I'm going to start on the right. That small plate on the right has been my, my nemesis here. Let's see if I can smack him. I'm about ready to say that this freaking gun is not ejecting properly. I thought it was me and my technique, and I just needed to get used to it, but it kind of sucks. It doesn't eject well at all. There we go. All right, far left plate. I got to adjust these sights because, you know, we were hitting left on paper and I'm trying to hold off to the right a little bit, and I think I'm overcompensating, and then excuses. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. All right. So I don't see any issues with lead. Everything seems okay. Those were certainly nice and powerful. You know, they felt powerful. So that was a pretty good little first test for some Full House 357 Magnums. So I'll go ahead and end this video here. The next 357 Magnum video, I'll probably go back to the revolver. We'll pull out the GP100 and do some similar tests in it. You know, testing some of our powder-coated bullets in that gun and making sure that we have the same success that we saw here with the Henry. So I will see you guys next time.